I would like to welcome all of you to John the Mouse University. I am your professor, John the Mouse. Now at this high-class university, we will be learning lots. And as students of this university, I expect you to engage in the comment section and to use your thumbs up button. I have a special guest for you today. RC from Canada is going to be talking about his scam that happened to him. And also, you should subscribe to his channel. I will have it down in the description below.
But what was the reason for someone just coming to your home and saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you a water filter for free"?
Because they want to scam people, obviously.
No,
Why else would you want to do that? You want to make money.
I understand, but I'm saying if somebody came to my house and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you a whole water filter for free," like I wouldn't really buy it.
So it was really hard for me to make this video because I swear every time I watch footage from these events that took place, or I even think about things that happened, I actually get really angry and I swear my blood pressure goes up. So that's why it's really hard for me to even watch footage from this or even edit these videos, because seriously, I actually get angry when I watch the kind of stuff that this company tried to do. So basically this video is about scams that are going around the neighborhood. Specifically for my scenario, there was this company called Ontario Home Services that was trying to scam my parents. So sometime in October, a salesman by the name of Shafaat Shah showed up to my parents' house, and he had this pitch that the Ontario government was giving away free water filters and air filters. And basically they were providing this free service, and that's how they kind of tricked these older people, senior citizens. Basically, if you just didn't do any research on your own into signing these agreements. But the good thing is I kind of overheard their conversation. So I interrupted and I said, "Hey, what is this thing that you're trying to sell my parents?" And he says, "Oh yeah, we're basically giving away these free water filters and air filters." And I said, "Okay, well, let me see the name of your company." So he pulled out his ID card, and I took a picture of it right then and there because I already thought this guy was sketchy. I also pulled out my phone and I googled the name of this company, which is Ontario Home Services. And it's funny that's the name of their company, because that's kind of how they kind of get you. You hear Ontario Home Services and you think he's a guy who's from Ontario providing you home services. It's kind of like how their whole scam works. And so I googled the name of the company right then and there. Sure enough, the only thing that comes up is pure negative reviews. People saying stay away from this company, it's a scam, just don't even go near this company. So right then and there I was like, yeah, okay, well, everything on the internet says that you guys are a scam, so we're not interested in any of the services you're providing, and basically just leave the house right now. So he left, and I thought that was the end of that. But really it was just the beginning, because 4 days later, a technician shows up to our house named, what was his name? Jerry. Technician, this 6 foot tall Chinese guy. And basically when I came home, I saw that my mom was like, "Oh, there was this guy that came over that started installing some stuff in the house from that company from before." And I was like, "Mom, why did you let this guy into the house? I already told you that this company was a scam. Why would you even let him into the house?" But my mom was like, "Oh, sorry." He was really convincing at the door, so I let him in. And this guy, he was supposed to install 2 things. He was supposed to install a water filter and an air filter. And he was halfway through the installation. He was already done the water filter part of it, and he wasn't done the air filter part. And that's kind of when I approached him and I said, "Hey, I already talked to your sales guy, Shafaat Shah. I already told him that we want this whole thing canceled, so I don't understand why you're still coming here." And he said, "Oh, well, my manager, I just work for this company, so I'm just following orders from my manager to install this." And I said, "Okay, fair enough, but we're not interested in it, and I want the whole thing canceled, and I want you to take it out and put it back exactly the way it was before."
I just want to know what you did, because I don't even know what you did at all. Seriously, I actually have no idea. So there's there's some random person coming into our house here and doing some shit with their water. That concerns me, so I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I know. So there is the cable filter. You want to install it?
I don't want to install anything. I want it back the way it was, actually. I want to cancel the whole thing.
So he said, "Okay, let me talk to my manager."
Okay, so I talked to the company.
Tell him I want to cancel.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he talks to his manager. He comes back and he says, "Okay, well, my manager says that I can just leave it the way it is, and we won't have to sign any paperwork or anything like that."
The company said, just leave it. You don't need to sign anything if you want.
Alright, we're not signing anything?
Yeah, no papers.
And I said, "Okay, we're not going to sign anything, and also if we get a bill in the mail, we're also not going to pay for it. So I'm just letting you know that in case." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, fine, that's fine."
Right, we don't want anything. And if we get a bill, we're not paying it. Just letting you know.
Yeah, sure. Okay, take care.
So he was leaving. I took a picture of his license plate too, because I was collecting as much documentation as I could because I just had bad feelings about this company basically. Oh, also that conversation that I had with the technician, I also recorded halfway through it. So I had the whole part where I told him that I wanted it canceled, and I have that whole part recorded basically. Yeah, so basically he left. There was no paperwork that we signed or anything like that. And I kind of thought that was the end of that as well. Even though we still had this water filter, I thought it was kind of weird that they left that there. But like, okay, if we didn't have to sign anything, then I didn't understand what they could possibly get us on. So sure enough, a couple months goes by, and our Enbridge bill comes in. Now, if you don't know what Enbridge is the company that supplies natural gas to Ontario. So our natural gas bill comes in from Enbridge, and tacked onto that bill was a charge for $59.99 for a water filter. Speaking of which, I forgot, I didn't even mention how much this whole thing was going to cost. So when I saw the contract, it was actually insane how much they were trying to charge for these things. They're charging $59.99 for 10 years. $59.99 per month for 10 years. And if you do the math on that, that's actually $8,000. And they had that times 2, because they had that for the water filter and the air filter. So they had $59.99 for 10 per month for 10 years times 2. So that was like 8 plus 8, so that was $16,000 that they were trying to charge for this damn water filter and air filter. It's so fucking ridiculous. Now, the name on the bill wasn't Ontario Home Services. It was actually their billing company. I think they were called UtilEBill. And on the bill, there was a number as well. So I called that number for UtilEBill, which is their Ontario Home Services, this billing company. And sure enough, if you call that number, you can't even get a hold of anybody. You go straight to a voicemail. If you leave a message, they're not going to call you back. If you go through the different call menus, it goes all straight to the same voicemail. You won't be able to get a hold of anybody. So I tried calling that, no luck. And then I called Enbridge, and I said, hey Enbridge, like there's this fraudulent charge on our account that I want you guys to remove. And Enbridge has this stupid appeal policy. I guess it's good that they even have it, but they have an appeal policy. So basically you sign up for this appeal, and then the company has like 15 days.
The company does have the 15 days to resolve this.
Yeah, you sign up for this appeal, and this company has like 15 days to respond to it. So I said, yeah, I want to appeal that charge. And sure enough, after a couple days, finally I get a hold of somebody from this company named Selina. She gives me a call, she leaves me a voicemail. She says, call me back, it's urgent. So I called her, and I said, she said she basically wants to have a meeting.
And I was wondering if I could come in this Wednesday to sit down and go over this. I just really wanted to figure this out, see what happened.
So we can discuss what happened. And I said, okay, well, why can't I just tell you over the phone? I don't understand why we have to have a meeting over this. In person anyways.
I could tell you over the phone what happened. Like, it's not really that hard to, it's not like I can't do it over the phone here. So basically one of your sales...
I'd rather come in though. I'd rather come in on Wednesday if that's okay.
Okay, could I explain it to you what happened though, just so you have like an idea?
So I basically told her what happened, and she said she still wanted to meet in person. She also said that she was going to give me she also said she was going to bring all the documentation to the meeting.
And do you guys even have a copy of the contract? Because I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to bring in whatever I have.
That was another thing that she said she was going to do. So then we arranged this meeting on a Wednesday at some time. I think it was at like 1:30. And they showed up to the meeting an hour early. And I was like, what the hell are you guys doing, first of all? Because you guys are like way too early for this meeting. You guys said 1:30 and you guys are showing up at 12:30. And I was like, I'm not even done eating yet. So...
did you guys say 1:30? Because we're still eating here.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're just a bit early.
You want us to come back?
Yeah. We can go grab something to buy.
Yeah.
All right.
Come back.
So they left, and the whole reason why I wanted them to come back is because I wanted to set up hidden cameras in the house to basically record this whole interaction that took place. So they left, they came back an hour later, and at this time I had all my hidden cameras set up, recording and everything. So yeah, she shows up to the house, and it was her and another guy, so there's two of them. So one of them was Selina Balli was her name. Her name was, yeah, one of them Selina Balli. I don't remember exactly what her title is. I think she's like the assistant of the managers or whatnot. And then another guy who was the senior vice president of the company, at least that was the title on his business card, and his name was Mohammad. So these two guys showed up to the house, and so I told them to come in. I offered them water, but that's pretty much where my hospitality ends, because at this point I just hate this company, right? So, and the stupid part is when they came to the house, it really angered me because they were trying to act like they were acting in my best interest. They're trying to say things like, oh, we're trying to help you out, and this and that.
Right? You have to understand, I'm not working against you here, okay? I'm I'm working with you to try and understand what's happening.
All right. Well,
And
right
it's
now you're
clearly
accusing
seen
me.
that-
You're
I haven't
accusing
accused
me.
you at all.
Listen,
I've been just been writing down
you're
what you
saying
said
you're
so
saying
far.
that I didn't cancel when clearly the audio says
No, we're
I
not
want
saying
to
you
cancel.
didn't cancel. We're just saying that the fact that the technician came in the house and
Or really, they weren't there to help. The whole reason why they wanted to come to the house was they wanted to collect evidence to support their own case. So the first thing they did when they came to the house, they went downstairs, they took a picture of the water filter, basically as proof that they installed it is what they wanted to do. And then sure enough, when they showed up to the house as well, they didn't bring any of the paperwork that they said they were going to bring. And they said, oh, did we say we were going to bring the paperwork?
And then, did you know?
say
Did you ask to bring it?
contract.
Yeah,
You
like
asked me?
I said bring.
Is it to email it to us, or do you just want to email it directly?
Yeah, send it to me right now. I want to see it before you guys leave.
You know? No, I'll send it to you.
Send
Like,
it.
there's not like.
Send it.
And yeah, she kind of did say that she was going to bring the paperwork,
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in whatever I have.
but she didn't. But anyways, they still wanted to have this meeting with them, and I basically told them what happened again, and they were trying to basically act dumb. They're saying, oh, well, why would the technician leave the water filter there when you told him that you wanted to cancel? Like, why would he even want to do that? And I was like, why don't you tell me, buddy?
You don't want something. How does something end up being in your house, anyways?
Yeah, you tell
Okay,
me. Because
no, you
honestly,
tell me,
guys,
right?
your company is honestly scum. It's scum. But anyways, I just want to hear your guys' side of the story.
He obviously talked to a manager. It was probably even that guy, and that guy told him to leave it there. And he's trying to act dumb, saying that, oh, why would the technician leave that there when you told him to cancel? Anyways, so stupid. So anyways, at that point, I was like, listen, buddy, I know your company's a scam. I was basically telling him. I was like, your company's a fucking scam. That's basically why you guys are doing this. And let me show you the video of the conversation that I had with your technician, Jerry. So then I showed him a copy of that video, me clearly telling Jerry that I want everything canceled and I clearly want everything back the way it was before.
So there is the cable filter you want to install it.
I don't want to install anything. I want it back the way it was, actually. I want to cancel the whole thing.
Okay, so I talked to the company.
Tell them I want it canceled.
Oh,
And Jerry clearly saying in the video that no papers had to be signed.
the company said, just leave it. You don't need to sign any papers if you want.
Alright, we're not signing anything.
Yeah, no papers.
So yeah, basically I showed them that, and basically the only response that they had for that was, oh, we're gonna have to investigate further. We can give you a better offer.
I can't make a decision right now.
I don't see why not.
Look into it. Why? Because what you're asking me to do, I can't do right now.
Alright.
Right? If you're saying you don't want to pay anything, I can't do that right now. But I'm definitely open to lowering down the monthly rental
No,
for you, or
no.
giving you a year for free.
It's canceled, yo.
Or like
Period.
you can buy it out for, a reduced
Yeah,
buyout.
not
exactly.
happening.
So it's not happening.
Alright.
So let's just go down the route that we continue.
What was the other thing? Oh, and they said that the cancellation had to be in writing.
You just
Okay.
left it.
Well, either way, like 10 days to cancel, cooling off period, as you guys know. There's the cooling off period right during the cancellation.
No, you gotta send a letter for a cooling off period to apply. It's gotta be something that like it says with that.
No, man, come
I
on.
don't, again,
You
I
think
don't
the law's? You think
like,
the law's gonna hold that up?
It will.
You think if we bring that
It
to
actually
court?
will.
All right,
because
we'll
the
see.
answer. But see,
We'll see.
you're asking me questions
Listen,
that I don't even want to
listen.
entertain yet.
The court
Right?
will always favor the consumer, so there's no way you guys will win.
All right. I don't think I've even gone down.
I
that
just
road
wish
yet,
you
right?
like.
I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I did take a law class once, and I know for a fact that legal agreements are legally binding. So I know that's like pure bullshit. I don't even know why he was trying to pull that card. So basically after the meeting, they said they were gonna give me a copy of all the paperwork that they had on file.
Because I want to send you the full file that we have
With the call. too,
with the
right?
call and everything.
And sure enough, after the meeting, the next day, I checked the emails and they still haven't sent anything with the paperwork. So I called Selina and I said, hey Selina, where's this paperwork that you guys said you were gonna send over? And she said, okay, give me 20 minutes. So 20 minutes goes by, sure enough, no email. Call her back. At this point, she's ignoring my calls. I call back 20 minutes later. I called an hour later after that. I called 2 hours later. Basically, she's going to voicemail. She's ignoring my calls completely. So, Ollie also gave me his business card, so I started calling Ollie to get this paperwork. He's also ignoring my calls. But the thing was, on his business card, he actually had 3 different numbers on there. So I called his cell phone line, I called his business line, and then he also had a 3rd number which kind of went to the head office of this company. So I called that company, and finally I got a hold of this guy named Usman, who is the compliance manager. At least that's his title on the email that he sent me. So I didn't tell I didn't tell Usman anything that happened. I just basically said, hey, I want this paperwork that you guys have on file for this house. So sure enough, the compliance manager complied and he gave me a copy of the documentation. And sure enough, the whole reason why I wanted that documentation was because Selina claimed that they had documentation of the contract and the completion statement. And sure enough, they did have the contract. But I know for a fact they didn't have the completion statement because they didn't complete the work. I told the technician Jerry to leave, and he even said that no papers were going to be signed. So how could there possibly be a completion statement? So sure enough, Usman sent it to me, and the completion statement had a forged signature on it. It said R. Castro in plain printing. And you could tell too that the writing was the same writing as the technician's writing. Like basically the font, the writing that the technician used to fill out the information was the same as the signature. And it was in plain printing too. They didn't even try to make it look like a signature. It said R. Castro. The weird part is my dad's middle name actually is Castro, and I don't even know how they got that information, but somehow they did. Maybe they were like looking on Google or something. So yeah, he filled out R. Castro as the signature, completely forged signature. Pretty much at that point, I was like, good, okay, I have proof now that this company's a fraud, and that they're willing to actually go out of their way to forge signatures. So Selina finally gives me her copy of the documentation, I don't even know, like a day later. And sure enough, her copy of the documentation had the completion statement omitted from it. Like they took it out completely. They took it out completely, and the funny thing is I know that she purposely removed it because when Usman sent me a copy of the documentation, it had the completion statement and the contract together inside of one PDF file. And I know that if you want to like split a PDF file, you have to actually use software like Adobe Acrobat Pro or even like Preview in the Mac to like delete that page. So you know that they actually went out of their way to delete that page to send me a copy of that. I guess her and Usman didn't even communicate that they sent me that documentation, so that's why she sent me a copy of her version as well. And she removed that part of the document basically because she knew it was like forged. At least that's what I think. Like, why else would you purposely remove this page of the document unless you know it's a forgery? So sure enough, Ali replies and he's like, oh, we never said that we were going to send a copy of the completion statement. We just said that we were going to send a copy of the contract and the third-party verification call. And I said, okay, so tell me why in this video did you say that you were going to send a copy of the full file? And at that point, I sent them a short clip of the video where Ali said he was going to send me the full file, but basically with the secret hidden camera that they had no idea was even recording.
Because I want to send you the full file that we have.
With the call too.
With the call and everything.
I guess they were shocked when they saw that video. At that point, they basically shut up. They like stopped talking, cut off all communication completely. I didn't hear from them for like the next couple weeks, at least like three weeks. I didn't hear from them at all. I also told them that I was filing a complaint with the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services. They're basically like a government company that's supposed to prevent these kinds of consumer scams from happening. I don't really know if it works that well, but this company does exist. So I filed a report with them. Maybe that company finally contacted this business. So that's when the business finally contacted me weeks later. Selina contacted me. She left the voicemail. No, she didn't leave a voicemail. She called me and I answered the phone. And what she had to say was, she says, okay, so what's going to happen now is we're going to gift you the unit, as in they're going to give it to us for free. In return, that we sign a release. That's the words that she used.
So if you check your inbox, I've attached a release, right? So anyway, we went over the whole situation and we discussed it. And we both believe that it's better if we just gift you the unit. So we would like to end the contract. And
I said, okay, well, I basically told her everything that I was thinking.
The other thing is when that technician was here and I told him to cancel it, he said he called your manager.
Mm-hmm.
So who was your manager that he contacted?
Yeah.
Was that Ali?
No, we did.
So who was the manager? Who was the manager?
We don't know. We don't know why.
You're full of shit. You do know. You're full of shit, Selina.
No, what you think? Okay, so you think he called us and said that, hey, I'm gonna leave this water filter. We would have preferred if he took the water filter back.
Yeah, like I don't believe you guys at all. He called you guys. I know he called you. He talked to one of you guys, and then you guys said, okay, don't worry about it. We'll just like he's probably not gonna have any documentation anyways. We have a contract here. We'll just like try to get as much money from him as we can. That's honestly what you guys did.
Yeah, basically I told her it was a scam, and I was like, Selina, why are you still working for this company? They're obviously a scam. You're working for a company that scams Canadians. Why are you doing this?
Selina, I don't even know why you're still working for this company. You already know they're a freaking scam. Unless you like want to keep working for this scam company, like I don't understand why you're still working there.
I was basically telling her to quit the company because, I mean, why would you work for a company that scams people? It doesn't make sense. So she was trying to tell me how not everything that this company does is bad. How can this company stay in business if everything that they do is a scam? And that's pretty much how they stay in business, is by scamming people.
Like, just given the whole scenario, you know, we looked at everything, looked at what you
No, like
said.
I'm not even concerned about just me. Like I'm concerned about what you guys are doing to other people.
Well, you have to understand that you can't say that, you know, you can't say that we run a business totally on something like this, right? Like, there's rules and regulations, and within Canada, we don't have our license.
Okay, listen, you guys did so many things wrong there that I just can't even believe it. That you guys forged the signature. That's like one thing that you guys did that was like so wrong already on so many levels.
Right, but I mean, for you to say that we do this to every customer, or that, you know, or that we have techs call us and be like, hey, I'm just gonna leave this unit here after the fact that you told him to take it out. No.
Listen, can you tell me why the technician would do that? The technician has like no interest of leaving that here.
I don't know. Like, he doesn't even have any.
Can you put him on the phone? Is he there? Is he there? Let me talk to him.
No.
Can you give me his number? Can you give me his number? I want to talk to him personally too.
Sure. I can leave that to Ali and get him to give me his number, because we have various techs, right? They're always on the road. So this is the tech. I'd have to ask Ali for his number. But anyway, I mean, yeah. Again, I really can't say why he left it there, because for my understanding,
he left. I'll tell you why he left it here. It's because he talked to you guys. He said, "Don't worry, we have a signed contract. This customer's fucked." That's why he left it there.
No, that is not. That's totally out of context.
After I'm done with this, like, I'm releasing all this information. Like, basically, by the end of this, I want all your previous contracts to pretty much be void with all your previous customers. Because, like, what you guys did here was just so fraudulent on so many levels. Yeah, and how do I not know that? How do I not know that, considering what you guys just did?
You don't know that, right? You don't know that. But I mean, I'm just saying, logically think about it. It doesn't make sense for everything. We have so many customers per week. We have over 1,000 customers. You're saying all of them are fraudulent?
I'm saying at least 50% of them are. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't even know how many how many people you've done this to. If you've done this to me, and listen, if I didn't even have that recording, I'd probably be in the same boat as these customers.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, because if I didn't have that cancellation recording, you guys would have went through with whatever the hell you guys were trying to go through with.
Yeah, she was trying to basically make it sound like what they were doing wasn't bad. And I was like, Selina, tell me, would you be willing to pay $8,000 for this stupid water filter? By the way, I tried this water filter. I didn't notice any difference in the water at all. Even from like before and after, there's really no difference at all. Like, the water that you get in Canada is already really clean. So I don't know. I didn't notice the difference. That's probably subjective. Maybe you can say there is a difference, but I don't notice the difference at all.
Selina, would you pay $10,000 for a water filter that does pretty much nothing? Like, since you guys installed that shit, I don't even notice a difference in the water. Like, I don't notice a taste difference. I don't notice anything that's different.
Is it on?
I guess so. Your guy installed it.
Okay.
So, like, would you pay $8,000 for that? Personally, would you do it?
Would I go on? I mean, personally, I wouldn't go on a contract. But I mean, would I buy a water filter? Yeah, I'd buy.
For $8,000. For $8,000.
Not for the contract. No, I would not buy the contract.
Exactly. So how can you tell me that's not a scam?
So, sure enough, she said, no, I wouldn't be willing to pay $8,000 for this water filter. So I was like, how can you say your company's not a scam then if you yourself is saying that you wouldn't be willing to pay this amount of money for this water filter? Doesn't make any sense. So anyways, I basically told her that I'm not going to sign this release if it has anything in it that says that we're not allowed to talk about the events that took place.
I'm also not signing a release if it says anything like I can't like talk about what just happened here. I'm not signing it. I'm letting you know that right now. I haven't even read it yet. But if it says anything like that in the agreement, I'm not signing it.
Okay. So,
Okay.
So how would you like to proceed with this? Like, you're going to review the release and then get back to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna review it and then I'll probably get back to you. But if it says anything about like not releasing information, because this information is getting released. Because like I don't believe in your company at all. Like I don't want this happening to other Canadian citizens. It's not just about like what happens to me here.
I looked over it, and sure enough, that's what it was. It was basically a non-disclosure agreement saying that the homeowner and any third parties can't talk about the events that took place. And in return, they want a copy of all the videos that I took, all the secret videos that I took. And basically wouldn't be able to talk about it. And I was like, hell no. Like, I'm not signing this crap. Like, why would I sign this when obviously your company's trying to scam us? So we didn't sign it, and I didn't really hear from them again. But we were still getting billed on our Enbridge bill for this company called UtilEBill. So once again, I called Enbridge. I said, this company's a scam. I have all the documentation. The customer service agent wasn't really complying with me. He still wanted to do an appeal. So I was like, let me talk to a manager. Finally, the manager puts in some kind of super appeal. I don't even know how it is. Some kind of extra super escalated appeal. And sure enough, a couple of days later, we finally did get a credit for like $400 and something, which was the cost of all the previous months combined. And yeah, basically we got a credit for that, and finally those charges have been removed from our bill. We still have this water filter sitting in our house right now, so I don't know if that's going to get removed anytime soon. They did say they were going to gift it to us, so I guess we just get it for free. But the most important part is that we got those charges removed, and I also have clear evidence that this company is like a complete forgery. Oh, one thing I didn't even mention. On the contract, this is how I know this company is like such a scam. On the contract, they were supposed to charge us for a water filter and an air filter. When I told the technician that we didn't want them installed because he only had the water filter part of the agreement installed.
So there is the HEPA filter you want to install it.
I don't want to install anything.
They actually went back to the contract and they crossed out the HEPA filter portion of it. And the thing was, the only person that could have done that was somebody from their head office. It couldn't have been their technician because he doesn't have the paperwork. So somebody in their head office actually went out of their way to pull out this contract because they only installed the water filter part of it. They crossed off the HEPA filter part, and then they initialed it themselves as well. Like, I can't believe you would go through like these kinds of things just to like try to scam somebody. It's actually unbelievable, and that's why I can't let this company get away with it. Like, that's why I feel like I have to make this video, because it's just insane that this kind of company exists. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically all I wanted to talk about. But just some things to keep in mind, like when you are signing these agreements, make sure you always get a copy of the contract, because they actually left no copy of the agreement with us. Be proactive and Google this company and the product that they're selling. Make sure you do your research and look it up, see if other people are saying this company is a scam. Remember that even if you do sign a contract, there are certain laws in place that will help protect you. So for example, there is the 10-day cooling off period. 10 days after you sign this kind of agreement, you can always cancel. And then the other thing is there's also this thing called the Consumer Protection Act, where if you were misled in any way, you actually do have 1 year to cancel your agreement with these companies. Now you will have to jump through hoops to kind of do it, because as you can see, like, it took me 5 months to like even fight this thing and get it completely removed. And it wasn't really easy, to be honest with you. It was annoying to deal with. But it is possible, but you just have to stay persistent in fighting it. And if all else fails, you could always go to a small claims court as like a last case scenario. Now I know a lot of people don't really want to go to small claims because like for most people, they haven't even been to court before, and I'm sure it gives a lot of people anxiety, even like the thought of going to court. But I mean, it's either you continue to pay the scam or you fight it. And I feel like the best option is to just fight it so these companies don't get away with these kinds of scams. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to mention. I saw a Facebook post recently that actually said that Ontario was going to put a law in place starting in March of 2018, which is just a month away, or less than a month away. Yeah, they're basically going to put a law in place that's going to prevent door-to-door sales of air conditioners, furnaces, water filters, air filters, and a bunch of other stuff.
We've been doing stories on problems with door-to-door sales for years, and we still get complaints almost every day. Now the government says the practice will be banned starting March 1st, offering new protections for consumers. Consumer Alert has met with many homeowners who say they were deceived into signing long-term expensive contracts by door-to-door sales staff. Many said they were lied to.
She told me, sir, it's all government funded.
He said, oh, no, it's free.
We interviewed a former salesperson who says he was told to say anything to get someone to sign a contract.
You lie to them from as soon as you open your mouth.
Now on March 1st, a ban on door-to-door sales will come into effect. These are the items that will no longer be allowed to be sold door-to-door. It will be illegal for sales staff to get you to sign a contract to buy or rent them. If you are lied to at the door, Consumer Minister Tracy McCharles says you could be able to keep the items for free.
If a violation is found to take place, the consumer will most likely get to keep whatever purchase they made, and there'd be fines against the supplier.
And I think that's awesome. I'm glad that the Ontario government has stepped up and they're finally gonna start banning these kinds of sales. The law hasn't been passed yet, at least not from what I heard, but hopefully it does get passed, and so that way we won't even have to deal with these kinds of scams anymore. Anyways, I think that's it.
And leading up to the ban on door-to-door sales on March 1st, some sales staff may be very aggressive trying to make deals before the deadline, so be careful if someone comes to your door.
So I just want to give you guys a quick update of what happened since then, because this video has gotten a lot of attention and because of you guys tagging Enbridge and all these other different news sources to this video. Somebody from Enbridge finally got in touch with me, specifically the ombudsman from Enbridge got in touch with me, and she just wanted to tell me what was happening. She said that she was very happy that I made this video. She said that the company is investigating the situation and they're having some talks right now, and there may be some legal implications that take place against this company if some fraudulent activity was found to have occurred. She did say that after their investigation, if they find that this company did not comply with their terms of service, they will permanently remove any billing from UtilEBill and Ontario Home Services, which is really good news, because if this company is no longer able to bill through Enbridge, that means that any customer that's being billed through Enbridge currently will have to be billed through another way, meaning this company will have to send them their own paper bills to even try to collect from them. And my suggestion to anybody who gets a paper bill from this company is to just not pay for it, because then the only way this company will be able to go after you is they'll have to send it to collections. Even if you don't pay collections, the only way that they can even get this money from you guys is if they put a lien on your house. But if they were to put a lien on your house, that means that you could go to court for it, because you can defend yourself, and then in court you could always present your case of how this company misled you. It'll be really hard for this company to collect if Enbridge doesn't allow their billing through the Enbridge system. So yeah, this is all really great news. It's not official yet, so don't get your hopes up yet, but if it does become official, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Again, thank you all for all your support. Really, without everybody sharing this video, none of this would have even happened, because before this all even happened, I already told Enbridge what happened and they weren't really taking any action against it. But it was really only after this video got this much attention that finally Enbridge is really looking into what's happening and the kinds of things that this company is doing.
So my channel just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody who's watched my videos and who's been supporting me, and thank you everybody who subscribed. So I just wanted to update you guys. I know I said I wouldn't speak on this topic again in one of my previous videos, but a lot has really happened since then, and I just want to give you guys an update and to answer some of your questions about some of the things that are going on here. Some of the things like why I didn't contact police and why I haven't brought it to court, just questions like that. Yeah, so since my recent video I told you that Enbridge got in touch with me, and the video that I posted did get a lot of traction. It even got shared on Reddit, where it got over 1,600 upvotes in a single day, until it got taken down for witch hunting, unfortunately. But at that time where it was on Reddit and it was on the front page, it was actually getting 6,000 views per hour, which I thought was crazy. But it did get taken down for witch hunting, which I think is kind of funny, because Yeah. So yeah, since that time, this company did get a hold of the video really quickly. Very shortly after I released it, there was a letter that was sent by mail, by registered mail specifically. The funny part was they sent it to a person who I didn't even know who it was. They sent it to some guy named Ricardo, and I'm like, who is this Ricardo that they're trying to send this registered letter to? I was looking at it and it just looked like a plain letter. Maybe if they made it look like a parcel, I would have accepted it, but it just looked like a plain letter and I really had no interest in reading it. Plus, I already had an idea of what it probably was. So I told the post office to send it back to the sender, to which they sent it to me by regular postage after a while. And so I opened it, this letter made out to Ricardo, and it was from their lawyer, or the lawyer representing this company, this guy named Pradeep Chand. Their law firm is called Chand Snider. So if you even Google this, the name of this guy, Pradeep Chand, all you'll hear is this is like the guy that represents all the different scam companies. And if you look at all the articles that are written about him, it's like the guy who's representing this company that was trying to defend a case of like basically fraud. Basically, he's just a fraud lawyer. And I actually have the letter here, so let's go through it together. It starts by saying, Ontario Home Services defamatory material. So it says, we are counsel to Ontario Home Services. This letter shall constitute notice under subsection blah 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 blah. Who cares? We are writing in regards to defamatory, is that the right pronunciation?
Defamatory.
We are writing in regards to defamatory material relating to OHS posted at this link. The post was made available to the public on February 7, 2018. The title of the video is Ontario Home Services Scam Exposed. I recently changed that title. The post further states, this company tried scamming my parents out of $16,000 plus. The use of the word scam and scamming in reference to OHS is vicious libel of OHS. So let's dissect this a little bit. So he's basically saying that the word scam in reference to OHS is vicious libel. Let's actually ask Google what the definition of scam is. What is the definition of scam?
Scam, a dishonest scheme, a fraud.
A dishonest scheme, a fraud. So, was it not dishonest for them when they came to the house and claimed they were from the government? And was it not dishonest for them to say that they were providing a free service? Was it not dishonest of them to say that no papers had to be signed? Was it not dishonest of them to forge a signature? I could go on and on, but I'm pretty sure what they did here was pretty dishonest. And a scheme, I would say it was a scheme. And if you want to go to that section about fraud, like, come on, look no further with that fake signature that they had on there, right? That forged signature. So yeah, I think that definitely constitutes as a scam, Mr. Chand Snider. He also says that this is vicious libel. Let's ask Google what libel means. What is the definition of libel?
Libel, a published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation, a written defamation.
A published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. See, the only problem is none of the statements that I had were false, and I already knew coming into this that they were going to try to threaten me with like some kind of defamation lawsuit, which is why I made sure in that video that I had all the facts set and that I told the truth on every single point. And yeah, basically I made sure of that because I knew they would try to come up with this case against me, and it was so predictable. Like, I can't even believe, I thought they would come up with like a better argument. I can't believe the route they chose was like defamation, which is like pretty much a case that I don't think they can possibly win. So I just thought that was crazy that that's the route that they chose to take. All right, so let's go to the next paragraph. The allegations on their face by way of innuendo, the allegations on their face, what? Are defamatory as they tend to lower OHS's reputation in the estimation of reasonable people, and in particular would cause OHS to be regarded with feelings of distrust, dislike, contempt. And how is that really my fault? I didn't even, they brought this on themselves. That's the funny part. Like, I really did nothing. All I did was I said the events that took place. I basically just displayed the evidence. That's really all I did. If there was any damaging to your reputation, it was their own doing. If it's true that their reputation is lowered, then maybe you guys should be changing your business practice, not trying to like blame me for that. Yeah, the defamatory comments are completely unfounded. Sure they are. Yeah, that's almost the end of the letter. Oh, this is like a second page. He says, we therefore demand that you take the steps to remove the defamatory material so as to prevent any further damage to OHS's reputation and business. When you have removed the defamatory material, we ask you to keep a copy of all evidence in relation to the post and or publication of this material. Furthermore, please be advised that if you fail to remove said post or material, it is OHS's intention to commence an action for libel against you, and you may consider this notice pursuant to the Court of Justice Act, that they will be claiming prejudgment interest from the date of this notice to the date of the judgment. Very scary words, Mr. Sean. Very scary. After I got this letter from Mr. Chand Snider, I definitely wanted to speak with him because I wanted to ask him exactly what sections of this video that he thought was libel and slander and defamation, because from my accounts there was like nothing that I said there that was false. So I really wanted to hear from Mr. Chand Snider. So in this letter he does have like his phone number on here, so I decided to call him. I actually called him 3 different times. The first time I called him, his receptionist picked up. I just told him to call me back. They didn't call me back. I called him again the next day.
No, this is Terry. How may I help?
Okay, Terry, is Pradeep there?
Is this RC?
Yes, it is.
Yes, RC. Pradeep is not here. He's in court. I did tell him to give you a call, but he had no idea who you were. I thought you were an acquaintance.
Okay, well, I made a video on one of his clients, I guess. So he sent me a letter here, and basically he's asking for me to take the video down. I really have no intention of taking it down. So if he wants to talk about it, he can contact me, but that's pretty much where we stand right now. He still didn't call me back. Called back again like another 2 days later.
Chand Snider. Terry speaking.
Can I speak to Pradeep, please?
May I ask who's calling, please?
It's RC.
RC?
Yep.
He doesn't want to speak with you, sir.
May I ask why?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. He didn't say. I can just email him again and let him know that you wish to speak with him and see if he'll reach out to you. He has your number, by the way, so I'm pretty sure if he wants to call or finds the time to do so, he will.
I do find it a little strange because he's like accusing me of defamation and all these other things, and then he's not even willing to like come and speak with me.
Okay, I'll send him another email and let him know about your request, and then we can see. Okay, do you know exactly what he said? Did he just say he didn't want to speak with me? No, it wasn't through him directly. I didn't speak with him directly on the matter. I was just told to, I don't want to say forget about it, but that it wasn't important. I just thought it was funny that they would send me this letter threatening me with a lawsuit, and then at the very end of the day, they don't even want to speak to me. What happened after that? So, funnily enough, on like Victoria Day long weekend, I was contacted by a police officer.
Hi, it's Constable Police calling. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Do you have a second to talk by chance, or?
Yeah, I have a second right now. So I was really curious what they had to say because I actually had questions of my own. It turns out that Ollie and Selina actually contacted the police. Surprisingly, I'm actually surprised that they contacted the police considering the fraud that they committed. But yeah, they contacted police and they wanted me to take down my video because apparently they were getting like harassing phone calls and messages. So I advise you guys, please do not send them any threats or anything like that. Unfortunately for them, the police sounded like he was really more on my side. He told me he watched my video and he said he thought it was like really well produced.
I watched your video. It's actually well produced there.
Oh, thanks.
Where you have your you know, the pictures come up and the text and stuff like that. So there's no, like, you're not in any trouble for that. There's no criminal offenses that I've seen in your video. You don't appear to encourage anybody to commit anything. It's just you, obviously you're disgruntled and your frustration with this company and how they treated your parents and you, right? So. Right.
And his only request is if I can possibly censor the business card part of it, the video.
Like I said, there's nothing criminal or anything like that, but just to prevent any further escalation to this incident, is there any way of possibly taking down the card image with the phone number?
And I said, no, I can't really censor it. The only way that that's even possible is for me to re-upload it, which I don't plan on doing. And he said that's fine. He didn't see anything criminal in the video and that it's a debt issue.
So like I said, it is a debt issue on my end. I'm gonna let them know that I've spoken with you. I don't foresee this portion or them complaining about anything any further, and then that's it from there. And the video is going to stay up. And then I also had my own questions for him as well that a lot of you guys were asking. And the whole reason why I didn't go to police at all is because I already knew that this was sort of going to happen. I asked him about the forged signatures on the documents, and isn't that like a criminal charge? Shouldn't they be getting prosecuted for this? Isn't that a criminal charge on their part for like forging documents? Now, forging documents, if you wanted to report that, you can do that. It all depends on the situation and the totality of it, right? So I'm not going to speak on that behalf. I'm not here to investigate that. If you wanted to, create a complaint about that, then you can do that if you wish. However, like what I'm just investigating is the unwanted phone calls that are being received by Ali. Any questions at all?
No, that's everything. It was just, my only question was really that criminal charge, because I feel like, because a lot of people are messaging me and they're saying that it is like a criminal offense, so it should be like handled by law enforcement. But then I figured, because like people have messaged me too and they told me they already went to police and they told me they just stated it was a civil matter. So
it depends on the situation, what's going on. Like when it comes to fraudulently, signing somebody's name to, on a contract, and that's maybe different from somebody actually signing their name. And unfortunately, to prove who was responsible for signing that signature, that's going to be the difficult point to prove who did that, right? So, like, say if you were to do that, and I asked you, did you sign that? And what would your response be?
Well, I would say no, because all my signatures are the same, and the one on that piece of paper is not how I usually sign it.
No, I'm not saying for that particular one, but like say if you were a culprit in relation to signing a fraudulent document, would you tell police, oh yeah, I signed it?
No.
I doubt that you would, right? So the difficulty of proving that somebody actually signed it it's going to be extremely difficult to prove that, right?
I had a feeling that's what was going to happen if I brought it to police. Unfortunately, I know they are law enforcement and they should be like investigating these kinds of things, but unfortunately you really do have to just bring these things to court if you really want to do that, which brings me to my next point. A lot of you are asking, why didn't I bring this to court yet? And mainly the reason why is because of time. Like, I have my own life to live. My parents have their own lives to live. My parents are in their golden years. I don't really want them to be wasting their golden years on like a court case, going to court every like week or so talking about this case that already happened. And yeah, basically I just don't think it's worth the time investment for us to go do that. When I made that video, I felt like that served its purpose already, which was to expose this company, and so I can like get that information out there, and so others are more aware that there are these companies running around trying to scam people. So that was mainly why I made that video, and I feel like I accomplished what I wanted. And it was really never to go to court and get like a huge settlement. I don't even know if I would get a huge settlement personally, because there was really no monetary loss. The other thing is, like, this annoying company, after all this fraudulent crap that they did, they still had like the nerve to send us like more bills, 2 more bills in fact. So I did call their line, UtilEBill. Surprisingly, they actually answer the phone now, because if you watched my other video, I told you guys that they never answer the phone and it goes to voicemail.
And sure enough, if you call that number, you can't even get a hold of anybody. You go straight to a voicemail. If you leave a message, they're not going to call you back.
But now when I call their number, it actually does get answered by somebody. So the person that answered the phone, I immediately asked for the manager, which I thought was kind of funny.
Hello, Kelly speaking. How may I help you?
Hi there. Can I speak to a manager, please?
And she's like, okay, go ahead. I am the manager. I'm like, you're the manager already? Like, you just answered the phone and you're already like the manager. And she's like, yeah, I'm the manager. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep. How can I help you?
Is this the manager?
Yep. How can I help you?
I was like, so can you tell me why you're still sending me a bill here? And she's like, let me look it up.
The letter that you got, you can disregard because it was just a timing issue. It looks like the was flat canceled by the dealers recently.
Okay, because I got 2 of these bills now in the mail.
Yeah, I don't. What are they dated for?
May 8th, 2018.
Is that what you said? May 8th?
May 8th, as in really recent.
Yeah, it's a timing issue. We didn't get the cancellation until after the 8th. We got it on the 10th. So the letter was already sent out.
So you're sure we're not, like, because it's saying on here that it's like way past due and all this other stuff.
Yeah, no, you can disregard it.
Anyways, I hope that answered some of your questions, specifically why I didn't contact police and why I didn't bring it to court. For the police, it's mainly because they were going to say it was a civil matter and that I would have to go to court to settle it, and the court mainly because of the time investment. Like I said, this already took 5 months. If I do have to go to court, I'll do it, but preferably, I mean, who really wants to waste their time in court when it's like summertime and there's like so much other shit to do? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. So I have some cool videos coming up. So if you are interested in watching some of those, I think they're going to be related to like tech. But anyways, if you're interested in like that kind of content, watch out for my other videos. Oh, one more thing that I think is cool that I'm just going to show you guys. Nah, I'm not going to show you guys. I'll show you guys in another video.
All information provided in John the Mouse University is provided for information purposes only. John the Mouse University does not necessarily agree with every expert that comes on to give speeches at this fine university. We put a reasonable effort to present accurate information at John the Mouse University, but makes no guarantee of any kind. As you leave this university for the day, you will come across the tip jar. By no means does this mean you have to fill it up. If you like the information that you have received here today, I would encourage you to share this with everyone you know. I will be here for your next class.